Hello, friends. How are you today? Well, I just wanted to take a look with you at the Schumann resonance chart, which currently has no data. Even now, when I'm recording it, the chart still hasn't updated, and we're definitely into January 11th on the chart in Tomsk. But I thought that we could take a look at what happened just before the data stopped and talk a little bit about the energies and some of the energies that I've been perceiving. And I wanted to show you something else interesting on the frequency, amplitude, and quality charts. The first really interesting thing that I want to point out, I talked about this in my last video, so the one thing that I want to add is I got a nice note from Anna Tulip and Prince Zach, and I thought it was cool what you guys said. They were talking about how it looked like the energy was attempting to be trapped within this sort of a rectangle, and it went past that rectangle, so it wasn't able to be trapped. And I thought that was kind of cool. So thanks for sending me that, you guys. And the other thing that I was going to say is it actually relates a lot with something I've been thinking about, but I don't know if I said it. I don't think I did really say it, but when you sent that message about, that it was trying to be trapped, I agree. And here's what I was thinking, that you see, we have these weird, I'm just going to say weird horizontal lines here. We've already had the vertical lines for a while, but the technological effect, vertical lines don't seem to be very present now, but we still have these horizontal ones. And so here they are now also at 12. And then they showed up quite a bit at, I think we said this was close to 30. And I actually was dreaming about this last night. And that's why I did the meditation today. I'll tell you what happened. It was really interesting. Anyway, so we've had almost like this vertical line technology effect. And then someone else wrote in the comments that 20 hertz was the propaganda line. And thank you for writing that in there. And I kind of agree with that, because 20 hertz is our our mental thinking, our analyzing. And if you were trying to get people to do what you wanted them to do, right? And you wanted to limit their ability to their integrative thinking and their analytical capabilities, then you would flood those hertz with something that would, for the mind to focus on, that maybe would distract people. So I agree with what you were saying about 20 hertz being a line that's important for propaganda. That makes a ton of sense to me. Maybe the person who wrote has some other information about that. I don't know. But also here in the, high 20s and up into the low 30s, this is still in our beta brainwave thinking. So the energy on the chart mirrors the hertz range of human brainwaves. That's why I'm talking about it like this. There are many other reasons why I feel that this human resonance is a reflection on this chart of human consciousness, and those I go through on my beginner playlist, but I also talk about it periodically on videos. So I agree that there was and is an attempt to box us in. And I think what it is it's an attempt to control our thinking. It's an attempt to control our observations. Okay, that's here at the alpha level. It's an attempt to control what we think about those observations. And it's an attempt to control our integrative thinking, like our making the ability to make leaps of analysis from that integrated thinking, the ability to form hypotheses and then think about where that might go based on our observations, the ability to engage, really, is so weird, isn't it? That this is actually something that we're happening. A lot of people are talking about how it's so hard to talk to people right now. But there's another thing that's going on here, and I don't really see it on the chart right now. It's an attempt to control our access to God. And you can see I have a bunch of God stuff I've written on this chart, which is, trying to get this back here. There we go. In excelsis Deo, Gloria, visit the Christ, the Magi. I haven't really talked about this yet in any of my videos, but I feel that, see, if you look at this, let me just do it this way. Flip. See, if you look at it, see, what I keep seeing here is a church. See, here I see the big, like, cathedral, like Notre Dame, and then the parapets here, the back of the church. I mean, there's all over Europe, there's churches like this. That's what I keep thinking about when I see this. What I think is that it's like the energies that come in at the conjunction of our sun with the galactic center. Then they flow in, they eventually come into physical form in the Christ. The Christ light comes into the physical form, and we celebrate that in the Christ Mass, the Christmas, the celebration of Christ's birth. So the light of the living light of God, 100% fused with a human body. Okay, so and then we intend to spread this out in our world. The thing is that our mind can block our connection with God. A person can choose not to believe in God, or to think there's no God. A person can, I guess they have free will choice to choose whatever they want. A person can choose to believe that they're powerless. I'm kind of more interested in the people who believe in God but don't do anything with that. Because why not? Because they don't feel they're worthy, because they don't know they're capable, because they don't understand the power of co-creating with the divine force that they were born with their own soul, and how that can really change the world. I was on, I joined a new social media. It's Getter, Gettr, and it's Susan Inspired. So check me out there. If you're on there, follow me and I will follow you back. But I saw a post on there. It was this incredible, complicated domino thing, and it was huge. And the whole big scheme started with one domino, and you had to push that one domino, and then it eventually took down this entire structure. And the caption underneath was, "See, one person can change the world." And so that's what I'm saying, that the light within you, the Christ light, lives in you. If you want to invite it. Okay, it's already there in my view. It just can't reveal itself to us until we give it permission, because we have free will to be separated from God if we choose in this world. Okay, and so this is what I'm really interested in, that if we could understand our power, and when I say our power, I'm not talking about human power, right? All glory to God. If we could understand maybe power isn't the right word. I think it's not because of all the connotations in this world. If we could understand our relationship with God, our relationship with divinity, I believe our world would change because we have a relationship. It's always there for us. It's kind of like that story in the Bible of the prodigal son that Jesus tells, where, this man he's a wealthy man, he has a lot of land and animals and all this people working for him and all this stuff. He has two sons. One of them dutifully works at his business, works hard and, helps his dad. And the other one asks for his inheritance early, goes off and spends it and just parties and, buying fast cars and, whatever it is comparable to, Bible days. He did all that stuff, okay? And then when he was broke, he came back to his dad. Like, he actually did go back to his dad, which was probably a big decision to make because he obviously had screwed up. And he goes back, and he surprisingly, to his surprise and the younger brothers and the other brother's surprise, he received the forgiveness of his father. Well, think about our relationship with God, okay? It's like we are the prodigal son. And it's like the creator divinity within us is always waiting for us to knock on the door, to open the door, to unite, to reunite with it, okay? To return home to the Father. Because Jesus, when he talked in the Bible, he used a lot of gateway language, doors. He talked about, I am the open door, okay? And I think that what he was doing, if I may say so, is that he was exhorting us to connect. He said, I am the open door. I am is one of the names of God. I am that I am. It's, one of the names that God calls himself in the Bible. And so when Jesus says, I am the open door, it's almost like he's saying that, and he fully embodied this energy, right? He embodied it one-to-one. It's like he was saying, I am the open door, that there's a door within us to open, and then God's just right there for us. It's like he's always there. And when the doors close, we can't perceive it. We can't perceive him, his energy. We can't perceive the divinity. We can't perceive the love. But once we open that door, our relationship begins, right? We open the door by asking to have a relationship. We open the door by seeking. We open the door by seeking and asking, but to have the relationship calls for us to receive these energies. And when I say these energies, I'm talking about this right here on the chart. And this is not containable. This relationship capability that you have with the divine through you, when you choose to open that door to that relationship, no man can stop it, okay? No force of manipulation, no man can stop it. No alien can stop it. No alien technology can stop it, or whatever this is here, okay? Because why? Because you are a child of the Creator, and by divine law, you have a right to that relationship. And why do you have that? Because you have free will, okay? And the Creator gives that to you. So when you choose to have a relationship, you're invoking your free will. And the Creator says, yes, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting. And when you open that door, that's what it feels like. That's what it felt like to me. This big message, like, I'm so happy that you opened the door. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you showed up, and that in this lifetime, you want a relationship with me. That's what it felt like to me, although with way more emotion and love and all that kind of stuff. Like a big warm blanket. And also, you know what? There was a little bit of pride in there, almost even like, I'm proud of you that you stepped up. I'm proud of you. That was like what I felt like my soul was telling me. I'm proud of you. I've waited for you. I've waited for so long. And it was so beautiful. But, when we form that relationship, then we're acting in relationship from within our human life. And when you're doing that, you're acting in alignment with that divinity. And what divinity wants to create through you is allowed, because that's divine law. And because that's divine law. So when I'm sitting in a group of people who are light workers and do energy work and prayer work and this sort of thing, and they're talking about how they want to do this next and what steps they're going to take because they're going to do this next. I'm going to invoke a space of sacred discharge imbued by the violet flame because you know what? I can box the energy too. All I do is I just invoke a space of sacred discharge imbued by the violet flame. And it's really not really a geometric space. It's an energy frequency where I ask for what is not in line with the highest good to be neutralized, okay? So it's a different concept of a box. But what I'm trying to say here is that you're out of the box when you open that door. You're no longer subject to human contrivances and the contrivances that are attempting to be placed upon you. There's some kind of boom, 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 boom that's going on. I don't know what it is. It's somehow I seem to be doing it, but I don't. See, it just happened again. I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's almost like excitement because I feel so excited talking about this with you today. So let me look at the charts with you for a second here. We were at 58 hertz in the amplitude, which is really, it's been a while since we've been that high. And so that was really nice to see. We were at 36 in the red. So really, it was really quite high. This amplitude with all that light coming in really affected the red resonance or was driven by it or however that interaction happened. And then we had 27 in yellow and 14 in green. But, it's more common for yellow to be at a higher amplitude when we get waves of light like this than 36. So I think this theme, okay, this theme of not just the box, but of wanting to break out of the box, it really came through. And let me show you that in the qualities. Look what happened. Look at this right here, 1620. Look at this hertz range in red. I mean, you and I have been looking at this hertz range for weeks and actually months now. And especially in the last few days and weeks, it's just really been it's really just been in here, okay? It's really just been in here. But now look at this. It dropped down an extra almost 3 hertz. So we're going from 16.2 to 24.2. I'm doing it on my fingers. That's 8 hertz. That is an 8 plus hertz range. What I'm saying is I call it the Christ light, okay? But there is an expanded light in our reality. And it's changing us. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? It's like it wants us to expand. Look at what happened. Look at this, you guys. The red resonance within the space of, how much time was this? So 4, 5. Okay, so within the space of an hour here, the red resonance dipped down in quality by 8 hertz and then rose up in quality by 8 hertz. I don't know what it means, but I think that what it means is that this energy, right, that's come in since mid-December, and then look at this spike that was being created here when this started. It's very dramatic. It's very likely something dramatic happened here. And so in my next video, I'm going to go over with you the energies of the now moment. I'm going to do an astrology video and tell you what the primary stories are that are happening right now. We've really been preparing ourselves in a way where if we want to shift, if we want to knock on that door that is always open to us, but the human side tends to have it closed. But when the God side is open, but when the human opens it too, whoosh, connection and a powerful relationship that can support you in your life, that can support you changing yourself, that can support you bringing love back into the home, to your family, to your own life, and support you moving forward in these dramatic and fascinating times.